Hey, everybody, and welcome to episode number 270, the Chris Rose Rotation, a production of John Boy Media. Always fun to check in with one of our good friends. Let's see how he's doing. Oh, he's up close and personal on your camera. Vincenzo! Vinnie Pasquantino of your Kansas City Royals. Hi.
Hello.
How you doing?
I'm just great. How are you?
So when you say it like that, I can't tell if you're really great or if you're like...
No, I'm just great. Like, no more, no less.
Oh, you're just great.
Yeah.
Well, but great sounds great.
It is. It's awesome.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, good. Did you get a workout in today?
I did. Yeah. Hit a little. Did some defense stuff. Now I'm back home. Just had some lunch.
So, like, where are we in the training session? Because what are we on? We're on January 16th. So you got to, what do you have to report? The 12th or something?
I'm going the 10th. Report day is not until a week after that. So like the 17th, but I will basically be shamed within the locker room if I don't show up a little early. So I'm going a little early.
Who would shame you?
Everybody that had been there longer than I had, basically. I texted our manager, Q, and I said something like, hey, do you care? Like, because he's given us the weekend off, or the Sunday before report day was like off last year. But technically it's optional, so every day is off, like until you have to be there. So he texted back and was like, well, every day before report day is off, technically speaking. And I said, so can I come report day? And he said, sure. But he doesn't use a lot of emotion anyway. So then I texted a few guys on the team. It's like, hey, when are you going? When are you going? When are you going? They're like, the 2nd, the 5th, the 6th. I'm like, oh my God, guys. Like, that's pretty early. And then I was talking to Ryan. I'm like, well, I guess I better go early, I suppose. So there's another Valentine's Day that we will not have. We've never actually had one since I've been in professional baseball. So I'm going the 10th, and I texted Q that I'm going the 10th, and he immediately responded with a lot of emotion and said, you folded, with a bunch of exclamation points.
Who was the one that sent the text that pushed you over the top? Was it Witt? Like, if your superstar is showing up before you damn well better be there.
Well, so here's the trick, though, is the Waste Management Open is like the weekend before, and a lot of guys like to go to that. I've been, like, it's cool, whatever. It's nuts, but it's cool. So, like, that's a big excuse of, I'm going to go. That's what Bobby's doing. He's going to the golf. Yeah, I think Salvi probably pushed me over the edge, even though I forgot that he's a catcher and has to be there. Like, he has to be there at 10th. I think he said something like, or I texted him, I said, when are you going? And he gave me the date that he's going. And he's like, when are you thinking about going? And I said, well, I don't want to be last. And he laughed at it. And he said, so when are you thinking about going? I said, the 10th. He goes, yeah, okay, good. So I was like, all right, well, that's what I'm going. I'm going to go the 10th.
Who is most likely to show up last out of, like, the regulars?
MJ Melendez, probably. I would think.
So he'll be the one that gets ripped on.
Well, that's standard within our clubhouse anyway. But actually, he will probably end up going to the golf thing. I would say Hunter Renfroe, but it's unfair to say him because he's having a child right around that time. So,
hands off. That's
hands off that one. I don't know. Like, a lot of guys get there pretty early. It's still a pretty young team. So guys are getting out there. Like, older teams, I know guys are showing up on report day. Not us, not yet. Maybe one day, but not yet. Maybe next year.
For people that are not familiar with the Waste Management Open, it's the old Phoenix Open. This is Super Bowl 42. We took the Best Damn Sports Show period out there, and our setup was at the Bird's Nest, which is the absolute shit show of all shit shows. People get so hammered and drunk there, but we were there the entire week. So we started out with a show on Monday, and we had huge names that dropped by. But after the show, after we were done taping the show, we would hang out at the Bird's Nest and just throw them down. It was probably one of the most drunk weeks I've ever had in my life, and it was so bad that I called the Fox Sports travel department, changed my flight, and didn't even stay for the game because I had to detox. I showed up Sunday morning, the day of the game, and I knock on the door, and Michelle answers. She's like, "The hell are you doing here?" I was like, "I had to come home."
Yeah, that place is nuts. You can't walk. There's so many people there.
Mm-hmm.
Getting in is a nightmare. Once you get in, it's cool and seeing the golf, and there's so many people there. I saw so many friends from college, which is crazy because college is obviously in Virginia, that were there. I've only been once, but it was a crazy experience. That might be it for me in terms of going to that event.
That's all you get?
Yeah, it could be.
Do you have a roommate in Surprise, Arizona, or are you just flying solo because Ryan's coming down? How do we do that?
Living with Bobby.
No, you and Bobby Witt?
Yeah.
That's adorable.
Yeah, he's opened his arms for me to come stay with him during spring.
Wait, does he have a house out there?
He does. I don't know how much I'm allowed to talk about him, but yeah, he has a house. There are people out in front of my house, and I do not like it at all.
What are they doing?
Well, that's my neighbor, so that makes me feel a little bit more comfortable, but can you see that?
Yeah. Oh.
They're just talking.
I'm not so sure that's just talking. That might be a business deal.
Oh, he's looking at me.
What sort of neighborhood do you live in?
What'd you say?
What sort of neighborhood do you live in?
Well, my neighbor's selling his house. I think he has an open house today.
Sounds like he's selling more than that.
I'm playing golf with him tomorrow.
Wait, is this the really rich guy that I met that one time on FaceTime?
No, that's the guy at the end of the street in the cul-de-sac. He's over there. I don't know how much you can see.
Oh, yeah, that's nice. Oh, that's a nice crib.
Yeah. I play in the major leagues, Chris.
I know you do. Not yet ARB eligible, though.
No, still on minimum. But good thing about minimum salary is it's still a decent amount.
It is a decent amount. Hey, just keep that OBP up, and
that's the problem, right? Is last year it was down, so
right.
Gotta make sure you get to ARB. And we have a new first baseman that we just drafted, so I really got to make sure I'm on my game.
Yeah, let's go.
Yeah.
I don't want to dive too much into the whole Bobby Witt thing, but that's nice. Do you have to pay rent?
I mean, I'm going to. He's probably not going to accept it, but I will throw him some money. And if he doesn't accept it, then I'll just buy groceries or buy dinner. I don't know. He will get taken care of.
Well, let me put it to you this way. What in the world could you give him when he already signed a $250 million deal that would make that? Is he going to go, oh, man, that check you wrote for rent in spring training that's the one that put me over the top?
Could. I mean, you never know. It depends on what he's saving for. The best thing I can give him is just true friendship, I think.
Oh,
I think
that's
what I can give him the most.
Now, will you guys be the ones that, do you cook dinner?
Apparently. So last year I lived with Matt Duffy and his wife, and she cooked every night, and it was awesome. I'm not expecting the same sort of treatment because it's going to be me, Bobby, and Clay Dungan, who used to be with Kansas City. Now he's with the Padres. I think he's still with the Padres. He was in AAA last year with them. Mm-hmm. Apparently Clay cooks some pretty good food. I am a specialist when it comes to steak, so maybe I'll make steak. We'll see what happens. I know Ryan's going to come down because her and Bobby's wife are very close, so I'm sure they'll both be coming down. So we'll see. We'll just see what happens. I'm excited about it.
Okay. I'll be coming to spring training, it sounds like, at some point. So
there you go.
Are we going to hang or?
I think we have to.
That's lovely.
Yeah.
I know you're wearing a knit cap, and I don't know if it's because you keep your house at 58 or something, but can you show people the lettuce, how we're doing here? Because it's
coming in.
Wow.
It's coming in pretty nice. It's coming in pretty nice. I like where I'm at hair-wise right now. Got more to go. But, yeah, we're excited about it. I don't know what's in it, though. I clean it pretty regularly.
Sweat?
Could be sweat. Could just be some of the hat that I was wearing.
Well, I got to be honest with you. For a guy who's worn a hat his entire life, you're hanging on pretty good, actually.
No, this is my best feature. Might be my hair. I haven't shown it off in the big leagues yet, but this year I'm gonna let it ride because it's not my facial hair. It's just my hair on top of my head.
But just hang on to that. That's the most important part.
That's my plan. I'm planning on keeping it as long as I can. Ryan hates it. Absolutely hates it. She hates that I'm growing my hair out.
Oh, no.
So this will probably be a one and done for me. But I told her I was going to do it at some point, so I'm doing it.
So what does she not like about it? It looks kind of sexy, I think.
Specifically, I don't know. But also thank you. But I'm not 100% sure. People seem to like it, but she hates it. I think she's just going away from the trend.
Well, you've been married officially 13 months today, I believe.
That is correct. Correct. Yes.
How are things going? Good?
Am I supposed to celebrate that?
No.
Okay. I think it's going pretty solidly.
Should I get Ryan on to confirm?
Yeah, I think she would confirm. She's at lunch with my niece right now.
Oh, that's adorable.
I think. She's not home. But my neighbor is still freaking talking. Well, I don't know what's going on outside.
You know what? Why don't you call your neighbor right now and say, do you need any help?
Why don't I just scream out the window?
Okay, let's do this. Point the camera, though.
Hey! Are you just going to keep talking? What are you doing? Get out of the front of my house. Is that your basketball?
What's that?
A basketball is on my front lawn.
What is that?
It's a basketball.
Basketball?
Yeah, I don't know where.
Well, you know what? I don't have a goal. So
Yeah.
there you go.
Okay. 12:30 tomorrow or 11:30 tomorrow, right? Hopefully. Okay, let me know.
Do you need a fourth for golf tomorrow?
I don't know. He plans it. His place, so I just go with him.
Whose basketball was that on the front lawn?
No idea. No idea. I don't know how. And I tell you, I looked at my cameras and I have Ring and it does the 3-minute increments. At 9:36, no basketball. At 9:39, basketball.
Ooh.
So I don't know what happened between 9:36 and 9:39, but somebody put a basketball on my front lawn.
All right. If you are in the greater Nashville area, please let us know if you saw somebody delivering or drop kicking a basketball or whatever onto the Pasquantino lawn.
Please and thank you.
Yeah. Not nice at all.
It's
Nice
not.
at all. It was wedding season for your team. It felt like every time I talked to you, you're like, yeah, got to go here for a wedding. Got to go here for a wedding. And I noticed it. I don't know if it was a disturbing trend or an encouraging trend. You with shirt unbuttoned at said celebration. Was this a little skit that you ended up doing or what?
It was a team event. I'm just not scared to post the pictures. So like throughout the night, every one of these weddings, it would be different guys would go around and would unbutton a button. So then if you unbutton my button, I'm unbuttoning your button.
Oh.
So then it would just go around. So by the end of the night, everybody had their buttons down. But I'm just not scared to post those pictures. I'm not ashamed of my body.
No, I was going to say this one, you look like you've been doing some Chippendale shit. Like you look good here.
No, so that one is one I'm very proud of. So I had a really good beginning of my offseason. I've had a very good offseason anyway, but when we got home October 11th. This was the day after we got eliminated. And I went pretty hard until the middle of November. That's when wedding season began. And I was feeling really good about where I was at. Now, this makes it sound like I don't like where I'm at right now. I'm very happy with where I'm at right now. But I had about a month where I wasn't home, so I was not at my gym 24/7. Yeah, I was feeling pretty good about myself at that point of my life.
You look great.
Thank you.
And did Ryan start to give you like different eyes? Because sometimes that happens. I've had times in my life where my body has changed for the better. So have you noticed that in your like? Usually it's the wife that will give it away, where they start looking at you like, "Hey, what's up?"
No,
Hmm.
but like not in a bad way. Like
Okay.
I don't know. Maybe I'll have to ask her.
Well, I
She
mean, you can
sometimes
usually
says
do it.
she sometimes says you look good, but I don't know if
Hey,
she's just trying to be nice. I don't take her compliments very well because sometimes I don't know if she's. It's like, hey, you look nice. Can you fill up my water? You know, things like that. I don't know if they're compliments or ways to get me to do stuff.
I'll take B.
Yeah, yeah, me too.
Okay.
Yeah,
How excited are you for your upcoming season based on how things went last year?
very, very much so. I think I'm super excited about it. I'm excited to see how the rest of this offseason goes in terms of like, are we going to do anything else? Are we going like, are we? It's just an exciting time. There's a lot of guys that are still unsigned right now. So it'll be interesting to see if our team looks the same or a little different come 3 weeks from now.
Yeah, because it looks very much the same. Really, the only things you've done is you re-upped with Michael Waka, which I thought was a great move, and you
Yep.
brought back Michael Lorenzen recently,
Yeah,
which I thought was an exceptional move too.
I agree. I think the moves that we have made have been phenomenal.
Yeah,
But
I've
like you're right. That's what we've done.
well, you know that my favorite team happens to reside in the same division,
Yeah.
and we've had massive changes. Some would say somewhat head-scratching moves, questionable moves, basically changing the right side of the infield where both Naylor and Jimenez get shipped out, and trying to bring some pitching in, and obviously getting younger, less expensive, et cetera, et cetera. As a guy who will have to compete with the Guardians, and they are, the reigning champions of that division, did those moves shock you?
I thought Jimenez being moved was a little bit shocking. I know he hasn't hit probably the way that is expected of that sort of contract, but it's very nice for me as a left-handed player that he's not at second base anymore a lot of times that we play them. So I'm convinced he took like at least 2 hits from me last year. And then Naylor was like middle of the order bat for them. I know Manzardo is very good. And there's just like, it just feels like the Guardians are just like the Guardians. They're replacing those players with those players. It feels like they just know what they're doing. And it's like, okay, you get to year 5, see ya. We're not going to pay you. We'll just bring in a new guy that is the same as you.
I know. Well, they replaced Naylor with Carlos Santana for a third different time.
Yeah.
Now back in Cleveland, and also spent last year in the AL Central. I think he's trying to make his way all around the AL Central because he did play in Kansas City for a little bit.
I think he rakes against the Royals. Like he's very, very good against the Royals. So, and he hits a lot of very hard top spin ground balls to first base. So I am now on more alert than ever when we play Cleveland. Him and Jose Ramirez love top spin 102 mile an hour ground balls down the first base line.
So you're on Top Spin Watch 2025.
I'm on top spin watch against Cleveland. But how about the Cavaliers? That's got to be fun as a Cleveland sports fan.
I didn't even know you paid attention to regular
I have
season
started
NBA
watching
hoops.
Cleveland Cavaliers basketball, and my oh my, they are a good team. Darius Garland is from Nashville, so like everybody here is all fired up about them.
Mm-hmm.
They're very good, very good team.
Exceptional. As we're taping this on a Thursday, they've got a big game tonight against the Oklahoma City Thunder. Second one in a week.
Another one. I watched their last game against the Thunder.
Yeah, and listen, Chet Holmgren's not going to play again, so it's a little bit. I expect the Thunder to actually win this one. Cavs have played really well. I do expect them to make some sort of trade, but the difference this year has been Evan Mobley. I know this is a baseball podcast, but for people that are curious, Evan Mobley, a former number 3 overall pick, has really changed his game.
He's very tall.
Yes, so are a lot of players in that league.
Yeah, but
that's not what separates him in the NBA.
Him and Jarrett Allen are just very tall.
They're both very tall.
I would not want to have to try to make a layup with either one of them or both of them in the paint waiting for me.
I forget if we've discussed this. Were you a hooper in high school?
I got cut as a freshman in high school. Never played again. That was the end of my basketball career, was as a freshman in high school getting cut from the basketball team.
Did you play anything else?
No, I did theater. I did theater
Oh,
and
right.
baseball. Yeah.
We
Yeah.
were. I love the theater aspect. You know what you should do? I don't know how many. And Bob Uecker just passed away today.
Yeah, rest in peace to Bob Uecker. That was
Yeah.
like a big one. Like there's a big, like I know he's like super legend. A lot of baseball players coming out today being like, rest in peace, Bob Uecker. So good for him. Like, super legend.
Well, you could make an argument that he is the face of Milwaukee baseball and has been for decades.
Yeah. I mean, all-time baseball person, Bob Uecker.
How you like this?
Ooh, that's from Major League.
Yeah, the Harry Doyle bobblehead.
Yeah, that's good. That's very good. The guy in San Francisco sounds just like him, right?
Who, John Miller?
Yeah, like he sounds very. I remember I was watching video the other day of my at-bats in San Francisco a few years ago, and I was like, is that Bob Uecker? But no, it's not.
Yeah, John Miller's a legend, too.
Very good as well. Very good at his job.
Great.
Hey, football fans, it's playoff time, and we've got some exciting games to look forward to, and you can get in on all the playoff action right now with our partners at the DraftKings Sportsbook. Right now, they are offering all new customers $200 in bonus bets instantly after betting just $5 when you use code ROSE. Love the thrill of live betting? DraftKings has got you covered. Bet live on in-progress games as they happen, making watching the game that much more exciting. So download the DraftKings Sportsbook app now and use code ROSE. Bet just $5 on any wager and get $200 in bonus bets instantly. That's code ROSE only at the DraftKings Sportsbook. The crown is yours.
So do you just do that? Do you find random clips on social media of you hitting baseballs?
No, on my iPad through our database. I like to go watch specific things. Be like, oh, when was I good? I'm going to go watch those videos. I was pretty good in San Francisco. I like those videos. Those are good ones.
It's interesting. I don't know if you watched Hard Knocks, the in-season edition with the AFC North, but Mike Tomlin, who's been the star of that show, was really interesting. He was getting the Steelers ready for their playoff matchup with the Ravens.
Mm-hmm.
And he said, I read a study that said this generation of athletes likes positive reinforcement more so than any other group, meaning we need to show them positive clips. So he had them cut up the CBS broadcast of their win against the Ravens earlier this year, where the broadcasters were talking positively of plays made by the Steelers. And so they'd show a Joey Porter Jr. interception, and then the Hard Knocks cameras were watching Joey Porter's reaction when they played it, and you could see the huge smile on his face. Do you think Mike Tomlin's accurate that this generation, because of the way you guys have grown up, you need that in your life more so than ever?
Yeah, well, yes, I think so. Because I think, I don't know. Like, I don't know if this is a bigger question, but like, you go on Twitter, right, and it's all negative. Like, for better or for worse, it's mostly negative stuff, or at least you don't even notice the positive stuff. So it's nice when somebody says you're good at something. Because I think, like, at least my entire life, I was always trying to be good enough, be good enough, be good enough. Never felt like, still don't always feel like I'm good enough. So it's nice when somebody else is like, hey, you're pretty good at what you do. So then you're just like, okay, like in baseball, we call them dig me tapes. Everybody's got one. Everybody's got to dig me. And I think a lot of guys watch it before every game. Like before every game, you watch your dig me tape. Like, oh, this was a sick double. This was a sick homer, sick at bat, whatever it is. And it's just like, all right, mindset-wise, I'm ready to rock now. I don't even want to think about the negative. I get in trouble with that. Guys on the team have gotten mad at me before because I like to go watch my strikeouts. And they're like, why are you doing that? And I'm like, well, I want to see how he got there. Why did I do this? Like, this shouldn't happen. Why did I do it? Like, was it mental? Was it physical? Like, what? Like, I tend to go to that side. Like, I know I said I was just watching positive video, but like a lot of times I'll watch negative video to be like, okay, what did I do wrong? Because I expect to do it right. So if I'm doing it wrong, why did that happen?
Maybe the guy was just better than you in that at bat.
Maybe. Could be. That's also the answer. Like, there was one against Scooble this year where he went change up and in. I can't remember if it was the first or second pitch, but it was a 3-pitch strikeout. I think he went fastball, change up and in, and then he just threw a fastball right down the middle, and I took it. And it's like, you know, I don't think I ever had a chance that at bat. Just not ever. He threw the change up and in, which is throw it up and in. It's supposed to be a slider. It wasn't. And I was so domed up the rest of the at-bat, I was like, I'm done. Good thing for me, the rest of the at-bat was only one more pitch.
Was he the nastiest pitcher you faced last season?
He's very good. Tanner Banks is still the nastiest. That guy owns me. I'm 0 for 4 with 3 strikeouts against Tanner. I don't know him at all, but every time anybody asks me who's the best pitcher, I say Tanner Banks.
Are you serious?
Yeah, and I like him because when he struck me out, he just puts his head down and walks back to the dugout. Because he's gotten me with 2 outs quite a bit. I always go, whenever a pitcher strikes me out, I go back and watch their reaction to know if I should hate them or not.
Oh, so there are guys that have a different reaction, and you're like, I got to get this motherfucker next time.
Sometimes, like, I'm convinced that Andrew Chafin hates me.
He's hilarious, that guy.
I don't know him at all, and I've heard nothing but good things. But he was actually the first person in the major leagues to strike me out. It was a fastball low and away. It was a strike. I think it was full count in Detroit. He's the first person to strike me out. And ever since that at-bat, he's thrown a pitch up and in every single at-bat I've faced him. And he's got good command. So I'm like, there was one at-bat, I got a hit off of him when he was in Arizona. And I'm rounding first. And I go back to first, and I just start yelling at the first base coach. And I'm like, why does this guy have a fucking problem with me? Like, what did I do to him? Which is very funny. And he just, like, with the hair and the mustache, and he just looks angry, even though I've heard he's not at all. I'm just like, what is this guy's problem with me? That's fine. I think I hit better off of him because of that, because it gives me a little chip on my shoulder where it's like, okay, pitch in, please. I hit those pitches better, so I hope you miss, like, middle in. That'd be awesome for me. Yeah.
Do you feel like guys have ever thrown at you intentionally?
Tyler Alexander hit me on purpose this year for sure. For sure. And I know that because he never misses up and in, and then all of a sudden he threw an up and in pitch and hit me. I still don't really know why he did it. I have no evidence that he did it on purpose. Other than that, I know he did. Which is fine. I'll take the OBP. But Bobby hit a homer, and then I get hit on the next pitch. I'm like, that's weird. So that's the only one that I know of for sure that I've been hit. Again, I don't have any direct evidence that he did, but he did. When you know,
if this is a baseball court, everything is circumstantial.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, that's the way it goes anyway. I mean, there's never any hard evidence unless somebody's mic'd up and says, I'm about to drill this guy.
Right. And I think he was just we were having a good day at the plate. So I think he was just having a tough day. And he's had good days against us before too. Like Tyler Alexander, certified good pitcher. But he hit me, and I don't know why.
Which, they're really
getting hit is fine. Getting hit by a pitch is totally fine. Getting hit on purpose, I've never understood why that's a thing. But you got the video.
See what Alex found here.
There's Bobby. There's Bobby hitting a homer.
So let's see what happens here. Oh, here you are.
And you could tell by my reaction in the video, I'm not pumped.
Well, I'm sure not.
I had the biggest bruise on my tricep for 3 weeks because of that too, which I hated. And what's funny is I was talking about this the other day at our facility. It's when you get hit, it's Tyler's thing is he's command movement, different things like that. He doesn't throw extremely hard. So I think it was 90 that he hit me with. Those are worse than getting hit by 97, 98. I can't explain it. Or if you get hit by a slow curveball in the wrong spot, on your IT band down your leg, that will just bruise. Bobby got hit by something slow. And he was bruised for a month and a half in that spot. It was 75-mile-an-hour curveball.
That's weird.
Yeah. But my thing too is I don't crowd the plate for the most part. But I went through this weird stretch. It was that Tampa series, and then we went to Minnesota where I got hit by pitches 3 or 4 days in a row. It was very strange. Never got hit other than that. But got hit in those 4 days. It was very weird.
Who hit you the hardest?
A few years ago, Jason Foley hit me the hardest. I think that's the hardest pitch I've ever been hit by. But it hit me in the elbow guard, so I got lucky.
Oh.
It didn't hurt. But it was funny, though, because it was like the night before. I think it was. The night before, I hit like a 105-mile-an-hour line drive right off of him. And then the next day or like 2 days later, he hits me with the two-seam. He didn't do it on purpose. Maybe he did. I don't know. But I drilled him, like comebacker right to him. He still threw me out, though. Still threw me out. But then he drilled me in the elbow. But didn't matter. Didn't hurt, which was awesome.
You know, the old school guys will call you a pussy for wearing the elbow guard.
Yeah, and what I'm going to say to that is I've been hurt a lot of my career. I'm not going to do anything that could potentially cause me more injury. And if wearing an elbow guard helps that, and they look sick. Like, I don't want to hear anything. They look cool.
You're such a little leaguer at heart.
Yeah. We all played Little League at one point. Why act like I'm anything but?
When did you start wearing an elbow guard? Were you like,
Tell you, this is funny. When I was like 10 or 11, I used to wear double sweatband, like the long sweatbands, on my elbow as an elbow guard. I can't imagine that did anything for me, but it was cool.
Were you always the best kid in your little league?
No, I actually never was.
Huh.
I don't think I was the best player on a team until my senior year of high school, and that's just because the guys in front of me left. Although I did have a scout ask me, we had another first baseman when I was a senior in high school. He asked me if I was going to play third base.
You're left-handed.
Yes, that's correct. He did not know that I was left-handed. At that point, I pretty much knew I was never going to get drafted by the Nationals.
That's out. And then you come up to the plate against the Nationals. They're like, holy shit, this guy's left-handed.
Yeah, it's crazy. It's like, oh my God.
What happened?
But I was in high school.
Gloves?
I knew in high school I wasn't going to get drafted by the Nationals, but in college I don't think I ever have spoken to a National scout since high school.
They took you off the board the minute they found out you were left-handed. It was over.
Once they figured out I was left-handed, I was done, which is crazy because that's the closest place to home. Like, everybody would have loved DC. So
it would have been nice. Were you drafted out of high school?
No. No.
So
thought I had a shot to, but no.
So it was ODU or where?
I only had one other offer. I committed as a sophomore, so I committed early. But at the time that I committed to Old Dominion, I only had one other offer. It was William and Mary.
Well, that's a smarty school.
There was no way I loved it there too. I had friends that went there. Like, I thought it was cool. I don't know if I could have handled all that.
Academically, you're saying?
Yeah, academically. And Old Dominion's great school. Great school. Sister school of William and Mary. Definitely not known for being as much of an education school as William and Mary.
Almost positive there are two current NFL coaches that went to William and Mary.
Yeah, Mike Tomlin, right?
Yeah.
I don't know who the second one is.
He will be coaching this coming weekend.
That doesn't help me.
Well, there's only 8 of them.
Yeah, but then I have to list. All right. Okay. All right. You want to do this? Let's do this. Sirianni?
It is not Sirianni. I think Sirianni went to Mount Union.
Dan Campbell?
Mistaken. Dan Campbell went to Texas A&M.
Andy Reid?
Andy Reid went to BYU, I believe.
D'Amico Ryans?
D'Amico Ryans went to Alabama. Now, come on.
I don't even know who's playing.
Well, yes, you do.
Dan Quinn?
Dan Quinn, ooh. I want to say he went to like a Vermont or something weird like that, or a New Hampshire or something.
Sean McVay?
Sean McVay went to my alma mater, Miami University.
Miami of Ohio.
Miami University.
Miami of Ohio.
Listen, they sell sweatshirts in the parent store that says Miami was a university before Florida was a state.
Northeast bias.
Midwest, but okay, who's counting? So who's that leave?
Sean McDermott?
Sean McDermott's the answer.
There we go.
And by the way, where did John Harbaugh go to school?
I don't know.
He went to Miami University as well.
He went to the Miami of Ohio?
He went to Miami University. Give us some respect.
My sister-in-law went to the Miami of Ohio.
It's not the Miami
Wait,
of Ohio.
Is it the red one or the green one?
Green is our rival. That's OU.
That's OU. Yeah, she went to Miami of Ohio, then. The red one.
Is she smoke show? Because that's usually what happens down there. Pretty.
She played soccer, but as far as her looks go, I'm not commenting on my sister-in-law.
You're right.
What I know is I married the most beautiful sister in the family.
That's wonderful. No, let's not. We're going to go down a dangerous road here. Let's just pass, Your Honor. Yeah. By the way, Alex, why don't you dig up and see where Dan Quinn went to school? You can let us know. Thanks. I'm dying to know that because I think that's the only coach I didn't get right.
He wears a backwards hat.
He does wear a hat.
I looked it up. Dan Quinn went to Salisbury.
Salisbury State, which is not to be confused with Salisbury Steak from South Park.
Yeah. Yeah. Wow. What a coaching juggernaut this weekend.
Shame on us for forgetting that one.
Yeah, that one's on us. I'll never forget that now.
Yeah, it's good. All right, now that we've nailed that, let's talk about our crappy football teams. Who had it worse, Jets fans or Browns fans this season?
Well, both had it pretty bad.
Mm-hmm.
But at least you had Jameis Winston at some point, and that was like kind of fun.
Made it fun. Mm-hmm.
So I would say that the Browns had more fun because I don't think anybody was expecting the Browns to be that good.
Ooh, we made the playoffs last year, brother.
Yeah, I know. But did anybody expect Deshaun Watson to be any good this year? No, no offense to him, I guess. I don't know.
No offense to him.
But, like, I didn't expect him to be very good.
So Jets fans had it worse is what you're saying.
Well, I mean, they traded for a guy with a 77 Madden rating. How do you expect to be so good?
Is that really it? This is how we're doing it now? Seriously?
I mean, Myles Garrett is phenomenal.
Okay, did you have hope when the Jets traded for Devontae Adams, or were you like, the season's
I have hope all the time. It doesn't matter what they do. They could have signed me to play wide receiver, and I would have had hope.
You're more of a blocking tight end, but okay.
I'm a vertical threat tight end, first off.
You're a Y?
Yeah, I don't even know what that means. But it's like X, Y, Z, right? Those are the positions.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the Jets fans had it worse because we were supposed to be good again. And by again, I mean aren't, but somehow convince ourselves we're supposed to be. And I'm all in on Aaron Glenn and bringing Rodgers back and doing it. Like, I love the New York Jets.
You want to bring Aaron Rodgers back?
I don't care. If they bring him back, I'm all in. If they don't, I'm all in on whoever they bring. I have so much time in the winter that, like, the Jets are, like, borderline an obsession for me because it gives me something to do. And what I do is watch football.
Okay. How many jerseys do you have? Like 20?
Like 9 to 10.
Okay. Half that, I suppose.
Yeah.
I don't know. They're what do you want to see them do in the draft? Do you care?
I have no idea. I see a bunch of mocks having them take an interior defensive lineman from Michigan, Mason Graham.
Yeah, he's good.
Yeah, seems like it. I think that'd be great. I don't know. Everybody keeps telling me, all these nerds tell me that, like, you need to have an end and you need to have tackles and you got to have these value positions. Well, then that makes me think you should get a value position, but also I just want good football players.
Yes, you do.
So I'm more worried about having good football players than I am having value.
How many games did you go to this year?
0.
This is the guy who you took a picture with Ryan Fitzpatrick in Buffalo. Like, you will go to games. You will go to games. I like
going to games very much. But
you said because they're out of it, I'm not going to a game. Not going to waste my money.
There was multiple times where I had trips planned because, like, I know enough people up there. Like, the Jets have acknowledged me, which I think is amazing. It's one of the coolest things that I got going for me is that Like, I know people that work for the Jets. That is the sickest thing. I had somebody tell me they could introduce me to Woody Johnson if I wanted to. And, like, I'm all the way in, of course. But, like, he kind of scares me.
Sounds like you should be introduced to his kids.
I followed his son on Instagram.
No, you did. One of the teenagers?
Brick, the one who's running the team.
The one who's handing out the game balls?
He didn't follow me back. We actually had like 2 or 3 mutuals because I had friends from college that went like to like grad school up north or something and knew him or something like that. I think he's at Harvard.
That sounds right. For people that didn't read the Athletic article, Woody Johnson's teenage sons apparently, after Jeff Ulbrich, the interim coach, finally got his first win and wanted to make a big speech, and somebody was going to hand him the game ball, one of the kids got in there and tried to get the troops fired up and reportedly gave the game ball to Garrett Wilson. Which
is the funniest thing I've ever heard. Like, I love the owner with the Royals. Like, he's awesome. I think he cares. I think
Sherman?
Really Sherman. I think he cares a lot. I think he's invested in the Royals. I think he's invested in the city. I think he's invested in the front office, the roster. Like, now I know like fans might not agree with that because we got this stadium thing that like, I don't know, but like he leaves us alone. He'll come in, he'll say hello. He's excited when we win. Like, but thinking about like if he had kids that would like come in the locker room after we win and are like trying to talk would be insane. Like, I know football is different because you only play a small amount of games. So like if you win a game, you like celebrate it pretty good. And, you know, if we win a game, it's like, okay, we have another game in 18 hours. So we need to, you know, probably shift focus. And you lose 70 of them in a year. So you're not going to celebrate all the wins as much. But like, that's insane that happened. And that guy's going to be running the team one day. That is the next owner of the New York Jets. And I want to get in on the ground floor of that.
Player personnel director Vinnie Pasquantino.
I want to be a part of that front office at some point.
Oh my God. This isn't Madden.
It could be. Why isn't it? Tell me why it's not.
You want to run the team like Madden?
Based off of how I run the team in Madden, we win championships.
Oh my God. Seriously? Where are you these days in Madden? What are you coaching?
I'm actually doing a college football dynasty. That's the latest thing I've been doing.
Yeah,
I just took the job at Ohio State.
The head job?
Yeah, it's like 2034. And I started at Colorado State as the offensive coordinator. I was there for 3 years, took the head coaching job at Eastern Michigan, was there for 2 years, took them to the playoff. It was kind of lame, though. I bailed on my guys. The second year I was there, got invited to the college football playoff, and then Florida State offered me the job, and I took it. And then I just didn't even play the college playoff games because, like, I'm so excited to get to Florida State. Got to Florida State, was there for like 6 years. Never won a natty, but got to the title game twice. And then Ohio State offered me the job, and I said, you know what? I think it's time for a change of scenery. And now I'm in Ohio State, won the national championship in my second year, and now I'm undefeated in my third year. You know what? I'm not undefeated anymore because last night I was playing against my old team, Eastern Michigan, and they Hail Married me and won.
Good.
So now I'm 4-1.
Good. I'm happy that happened to you. You left those kids high and dry.
I shut the game off. Ryan was like, what are you doing? It was 9:00 last night, and I just came into the living room. She's like, what are you doing? Said I stopped playing for the night because I was upset that we lost by Hail Mary.
Does the Hail Mary stick? Like, does it still stay, or did it, because you turned it off, it didn't?
I am not 100% sure. I have not loaded up the game since it happened.
I hope it sticks. You walked out on those kids in Ypsilanti.
I know I did. I really did.
Yeah. Screw you, coach.
Yeah.
You walked into those kids' living room and said you were going to be there for them.
I told mom and dad and grandma and grandpa I'd take care of them, and I didn't. I left. I left them high and dry. I said, Florida State, here I come.
It's disgusting.
Yeah.
One day you and Ryan might have kids, and there's going to be some coach that walks into your young man or young lady's living room and says, we're going to take care. And you know what? You're going to be thinking about the time you left those kids in Ypsilanti. That's exactly what's going to happen.
I think actually what I want to do after baseball is I want to either coach high school or college baseball. And I just want to create an actual real life dynasty. That's my goal. If I do high school, I want to coach the basketball team too, because coaching basketball is the most fun because you get to go up and down and you're basically screaming the whole time. How much fun is that?
You got
We're going to be
cut.
the most conditioned team in high school basketball. I can tell you that.
Well, I mean, we saw how ripped you were at the beginning
Exactly.
of the offseason. So
basketball is also the best way to get in shape. I wish I could play basketball because, like, you're just running, but you're having fun. It doesn't get much better than that.
Both accurate.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Anything else you want to get off your chest? I mean, I heard that you and Adam Shine had a great time on the podcast. I just want to make sure that you're going to have just as much fun here.
I'm having
most fun I've ever had on a podcast. Like, fuck you, Vinny.
This is a show, not a podcast.
That's true. This is a show. This is just a chat between two good friends.
Yeah, I don't know. Do you want to? The playoffs were fun. Have we spoken since the offseason?
Yeah, we talked 2 days ago.
Well, no, have we spoken publicly since?
Oh, I don't even remember. Oh, about your playoff run.
Yeah.
I thought we did right afterward.
Maybe. I don't remember.
I think we did.
Okay.
I'm almost positive. Alex, you can check that. See whether or not we did.
I'm excited for the upcoming season.
Yeah, we talked about that.
I think we'll be very good.
In case you've forgotten about what happened 40 minutes ago, we talked about the fact you're going to be making steak at Bobby Witt's.
That's
cool.
spring training, yeah. I'm planning on being very good this year.
Good. How do you feel, by the way? People want to know because, did you have to have the pins removed?
Yes. I have this scar, this permanent scar now on my hand. I'm trying to get it out somewhat, but my surgeon did a great job. He took out the pins and the screws and the plate. I actually have it. It's at my house, which was nice for him to let me keep that. And now I'm pretty much normal. I mean,
where are the screws?
They're downstairs, I think. Yeah, I think they're downstairs.
Could you feel the screws in your thumb?
Yes. It was not. It was not like the most fun that I've ever had having that in my hand, but worth it.
Yeah, you made it back, bro.
Yeah, made it back, which was cool. I was very happy to have done that.
Now you get to face Max Fried.
Now I get to face Max Fried. I hope he doesn't scream as loud after striking me out as Rodon did. But when you strike out, you can act like you strike me out, act however you want. I can't do anything about it. You struck me out. So you win. I can complain about it. I sound like an idiot and soft when I do it, and rightfully so. But yeah, Max Fried went complete game, I think, against us the last series of the year, or almost complete game.
He's a good pitcher.
He's very good. Very good. Also very rich now.
So very rich.
Yeah.
Very rich.
That rotation's that's a solid rotation.
Do you keep an eye? The first base market has been very interesting. I guess we can finish with this. We've had a lot of guys change teams, right? A la Christian Walker. We've had guys get traded all over the place. Do you pay attention to that?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's hard not to. Yeah, the first base market is weird, but that goes back to kind of like that's where we're at in baseball today. Like, that's where we're at. If you play first base, you essentially have to put up like a 850 OPS to like get paid nowadays, which is fine, right? Like you need to perform. But teams use WAR, and if you play first, it is very difficult to get that WAR number up because it gets so drugged down simply by the position that you play. Again, fine. It's just what these guys have determined that players that handle the ball almost more than anybody in terms of catching the baseball are the least valuable people out there. Just throw the biggest guy you have and play him at first. And now guys are seeing the consequences of that because teams are not going to invest long-term in first baseman unless you are Vladimir Guerrero Jr. Like that probably should get done in Toronto. in my opinion. But
Yeah, I think they missed. I think they screwed the pooch on this one.
yeah, I would agree. I don't know. It's just tough. Like Pete has been the face of the Mets for the past 6 years, and that should mean something in my opinion. But they like I get that they just spent however much money they did on Soto. I get that, but that was not a front office thing. That was an owner thing for them. Like I don't know. I think Pete should be paid. He's handled New York, which, from what I've heard, is not the easiest thing to do.
Mm-hmm.
He has done nothing but basically perform for that team, and it does. Obviously, I'm not in the room, but it does not seem that they value the things that he brings to the table other than the numbers, and that's what teams are doing nowadays. And I personally think it hurts teams. I get that the Dodgers have the most money of any team, but they are investing in players and players that mean something off the field, and they're winning.
Yeah, here's the way I look at it with the Pete stuff. He plays every day. In a bad year like this year, he'll still hit you 35 home runs.
Mm-hmm.
To me, the most important thing you said was that he was able to handle New York, and I think there's a surcharge on guys who are successful in New York because it can be brutal and it can wear you down, and it has turned very, very good players into mental midgets at times in this sport. And he has withstood all of that stuff and handled himself, for the most part, in my opinion, exceptionally well.
I agree.
The fact that a team like Seattle has not gone after him is beyond me.
We were having this conversation the other day. Now, I'm more talking as a fan here than I am as a participant in this game. But Seattle, guys, there's your fit. Home runs. Home runs. You love home runs, Seattle. All your team does is hit home runs.
How good's that pitching staff?
Yeah, they've got the best pitching staff in the league. Starter-wise. I mean, all those guys are disgusting. I don't know. I'm not a front office member. I'm starting to hear about how these conversations go. It doesn't sound like it's the most fun. I'm thankful that I'm not, I don't know if that's the word, because I'll be going through it soon enough, but it's just it's a crazy, crazy world with all the data and numbers that you have and where people place arbitrary values. You know what your value is? If you have two teams fighting for you, that's what your value is. But who am I? I've never gone through it. So I don't know. It just sucks to see players that like Pete is one of the top names in the game, in my opinion, name value. Most people who follow baseball know who Pete Alonso is. That should matter in my mind. But I mean, you just saw Devin Williams get traded too. So he's one of the best relievers in the game.
Yeah, but we knew that was coming.
Yeah, I don't know. It's just
that doesn't surprise me.
I think just sometimes as a player, you look at it and you're like, man, why do front offices hate players? You would think you get into the game of baseball because you like players.
I'll ask you this one last thing. Do you have friends that have gone through the arbitration process?
Oh, yeah, and it's a nasty business. It's a nasty, nasty business.
Yeah, it's so weird. Just imagine it, if you're at home and your boss is sitting in the same room as you and has to say everything that they hate about you, work-wise.
Yeah, well, I already know what I'm going to get told. I DH too much. I probably shouldn't say things like this publicly, but I already am fully prepared for what is going to happen if we have to walk into a room next year.
Why do you have to be there?
Oh, I think players should be there. I want to know how these front offices talk about players.
Okay.
Because it's important. It's important to your career. Knowing how the people who employ you see you. Because at the end of the day, why do people get into baseball? Because they like baseball, I would think. So I want to see how they view the game.
All right, so let me ask you this. You've talked with your agent, I'm sure. You know what your deficiencies are in terms of contract value.
Mm-hmm.
Are those things that you have been working on this offseason?
Well, I think the biggest thing that hurts me is injury, obviously, right?
Well, you can't do anything about that. You got hit by a pit, or you got run over at first base on an errant throw by a guy who got hit by a line drive. That's a freak accident. That's not an injury.
Yeah, but it's happened. And like, that's what matters is I haven't been out there. Like I haven't been out there as much as I would like to be out there. Yes, like I can't really control what happened, but they still happened. Um, and that's like the most important thing about me is the injury stuff. Like I just haven't been able to withstand a full season yet, regardless of it being quote unquote my fault or not. That's just the truth of it. It just is what it is. But if you ever start playing to not get hurt, like you're gonna get hurt.
Mm-hmm.
Like I'm still gonna play aggressive baseball and try hard and do everything I need to do. And if I get hurt, like I'm not gonna lose any sleep at night because I dove for a ball or went for a ball or got hit by a pitch or something and ended up getting hurt. Like that's just the way the game is.
All I know is
we could go on and on and on about this, you know.
Yeah. All I know is that if we have a crunches contest between first basemen this year, you've moved up a few positions.
I think I look pretty good relative to where I've been before, but we'll see. You know, it's the offseason. It's where I'm supposed to start looking better, and then the season drags on. But I feel like I'm in a pretty good spot. I know what my goals are. I know what I'm ready to go out and do, and I'm excited to get that opportunity to go do it.
So you might win every team has a guy who is in the best shape of his career. Every team has that guy. So you might end up being that dude in February.
Well, no, I'll never win that award because I'm just too big. Like I'm never going to have abs. So I'm kind of like somebody will show up with abs that didn't have abs last year. I probably will not be that guy.
So who's the guy that wins the best beach body on the team?
Lorenzo.
Oh God, yeah.
Yeah, it's not even close. It's not even actually fair anymore now that he's on the team.
Outside of him, because he's in his own category.
It'd be easier to tell you who wouldn't, but like I think in their category, I think Bobby's up there, MJ's up there, Kyle Isbell's up there.
Mm-hmm.
Freddie Fermin, sneaky jacked.
Oh, here we go.
Massey's a good looking guy. Yeah, that's a pretty good list, I would say.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think about the whole team. Like I'm not on that list. Will Smith.
But you are. You know why you make the list? Because your personality. You win people over in about 90 seconds.
Thank you.
And your sexiness factor starts shooting through the roof the minute you start cracking.
It wouldn't be fair if I had like a six pack.
And
yeah, like with
personality.
Yeah, exactly. It just wouldn't.
It's one or the other.
Mm-hmm. But now that I'm bringing the hair into the mix, it's like
different level.
Yeah,
different level. Where are you watching the football this weekend, brother? Just right on the couch?
Right on the couch. Right on the couch.
Do you have friends over or just
no, the dog does not like it when people
Bear doesn't?
No, he's not a big fan of that. So normally we either go somewhere or we just watch here by ourselves.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, just remember to flip on over both Saturday and Sunday night after the games to NFL Network.
I always do. Always make sure.
No, you don't.
Yeah, always make sure. I have texted you multiple times in the mornings on Sunday mornings, though, being like,
True.
what time do you wake up?
It's true.
Yeah.
True. I love these playoffs, so these are perfect. I don't have to get in until 1:15 my time.
Yeah, that's
Sunday. Oh, the next two Sundays are perfect because the games are over at 6:30 West Coast time.
Mm-hmm.
Then I'm on for 90 minutes, and I get home, and if I want to go finish up Dexter, I'm good. You know.
You definitely dye your beard when you're doing a bunch of TV.
Yes, I do. Do you know why?
Tell me.
Because the camera's never this close as it is on. I don't mind showing the gray. It's fine, whatever it is. But on TV, I look like I've been sleeping under the 405-10 interchange if I don't dye it. And I don't want that.
That's okay. Whatever you think, I will follow.
Do you think less of me for dyeing it?
No. I don't think more or less of you. It just really doesn't bother me that much one way or the other.
But you've obviously thought about it because you just brought it up.
Yes, because I'm used to seeing you with gray, and then I see you on TV to the national audience. I'm like, oh, he dyes his hair for them, but not for us.
It's not my hair. It's my beard.
Facial hair.
Facial hair.
Yeah.
But there's a reason. Like I said, there's a reason.
It's just crazy how casual you are on here, wearing a hat, wearing headphones, but on TV, it's like, oh, buttoned up, wearing a suit. Oh, I'm Chris Rose. Oh, I'm on TV.
Wait till you see the Championship Sunday. I've got a really good sport coat. Right?
How many more times do you think I need to be on the show before I've been like a top guest? Like, is there a list?
Top in terms of number or performance?
No, performance, I feel pretty good about where I'm at. But number.
Although you slouched the entire episode here.
Yeah, but that makes me more relatable. That's what I'm talking about. Because it's like, oh, look, we're just hanging out, having a fireside chat.
That's a good point.
FDR.
Was this more fun or less than fun than Shine?
Way more fun.
You sure?
Yeah.
Are you just saying it because I'm on?
Yes.
Okay. He does a good job. Shine.
But where are the number? Who's the most guest? Who's been on the most? Alex, this is a new project. I need a list of who's been on the most because I want to do like the Saturday Night Live, like 5-timer robe. I want like a 10.
Oh, you're definitely a 5-timer.
Definitely a
about
5-timer. Yeah.
I would say the minimum number to reach that arc is probably like a dozen.
Okay.
And I think you're probably right on the cusp of it.
Okay. Cool.
We had a whole year where I couldn't check in with you.
Alex, a whole year, and then 6 months in, I said, okay, we can do it.
Because really, this isn't media. Let's be honest.
No, that's why I think guys like doing it, because I don't have to like I just talked about ARB openly to you, which again, I probably shouldn't have done. But
it's fine. What you said was not bad at all.
It's fine.
It gave us a little taste of what it's about. I'll tell you what we brought up earlier this week was the Jarren Duran one. I don't know if you followed that at all.
$500,000 between the team and him, right?
Yeah. For a guy who you probably want as your centerpiece moving forward, literally and figuratively.
No, they're probably looking at it like, oh, he's really fast. What happens when the speed goes away? How good will he actually be? Oh, what is his long-term projection?
Well,
Instead of, oh, man, this guy was our best player all year long besides Rafael Devers, and he helped us a lot. But who am I to say?
Yeah, but it's more than that with him. He has openly talked about mental health with him and that what a struggle it's been.
Yeah, and they probably use that against him.
Well, and could you imagine sitting there and having to listen to your team beat up on you? Like, I think you just have to kind of look at everybody individually and say, is it worth the $500,000, or can't the number be 385 and we give up $350,000 and he gives up $150,000? Like,
well, I think the thing that bothers players with ARB so much is the scale has not moved. Like, it's not a moving scale. You just get what you get. Like, you'll use comps from 20 years ago and then make the same money that somebody made. Like, now the superstars are always going to get paid, right? Like, they will always get paid. Like going through ARB, right? Like Vlad, Pete, like Soto, these guys got paid. But then like Bichette did the 3 and 30 thing so he wouldn't have to deal with all of the hassle that goes with it. Like, if you're a player and a team offers you a pretty good to decent deal through ARB, like just through ARB, nothing else, it's like, okay, that probably makes some sense, because then it's like we don't need to sit across from each other and do this.
Right.
Like, but then it also takes him out of the system, which means it can't technically help the next player because a player who's really good is now out of the system. So like, it's a messed up thing. But it is what it is. It's our system, and we go.
I will say this: I'm not going to be your, I won't be your agent, and you are eligible starting next season. If they offer you 3 years and $3 million total, don't take it.
I will not. I promise you, I will not.
Don't take it. Okay.
Yeah. I do think it would be kind of fun though to like sit in a room and have somebody look you in the eyes and tell you how bad you are at what you do, and then as soon as the meeting's over, be like, we're pumped about what you're going to do for us this season.
Okay, well, just stay married. That'll take care of it.
Yeah,
perfect.
That's good.
All right, man. Great catching up.
Yeah.
Tell Ryan hi. Hopefully I'll see you out in the spring training in Arizona at some point. Can't wait to make steaks at Bobby Witt's.
That's right.
How nice is this place, by the way?
What'd you say?
How nice is this place?
His place in Arizona it's nice, but it's not like a mansion.
Oh,
It's a nice place. Yeah.
All right. Well, he can afford it. He's good. He doesn't have to do arbitration.
That is correct. He does not have to do arbitration. Yeah. Great job on all parties on that one to get that one done.
Special shout out to our brand new producer, Alex. Good job. Good
Shout
job.
out, Alex.
And also, we didn't do a formal thank you to Robbie Shiraka, who was with us from the beginning and now has, as people probably know, has moved on to a different baseball show at John Boy Media. So he's doing a great job over there. Everything else, he's still with the company. Now, he hasn't moved on. He's moved on to a different role in the company. But we love Robbie. He's done a great job. Alex. Yeah, Alex is going to do a bang-up job. Vinnie Pasquantino, he's almost like a family member here. Hopefully climbing up the ladder to those 12 appearances where another John Boy Media bonus kicks in. I'm Chris Rose. We will see you next time here on the Chris Rose Rotation, a production of John Boy Media.